Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Heilman and Haver in the Mix. Here we are at the Historic Roxy Theatre in Bremerton. We're excited to announce that this Saturday they'll be showing Star Wars Episode 4.
Episode 4.
The original.
The original.
A New Hope. Not the first one, but the first one that came out.
Well, there's
in
the debate,
77.
right? So when you go back to watch them all, which one do you start with? You got to start with Episode 4.
Absolutely. Showing this Saturday, and that's July 24th, right here at the Roxy, 6:30 p.m. We're going to be emceeing and, of course, introducing an introduction by our friend Jeremy Arnold from TCM. And I hope you can make it down. And in honor, we've got a couple of non-alcoholic cocktails that are going to be served this weekend.
It's the first for In the Mix.
It is. That's right.
The non-alcoholic version. So we've got a couple of drinks here. We're going to do the Cliff Dweller, and we're going to do the Hyperdrive. We're going to start with the Cliff Dweller. The origin of this drink is from the planet Octo, which is mostly water, has a few little archipelagos, but has some high cliffs up in the on the planet where the people who live up there would drink something simple. These are ingredients that you could get off of the archipelagos on the planet. You might remember this from this planet, Octo being the place where the Jedi Order got its start. It's also the place where Luke Skywalker went after his temple and all his younglings were killed by Kylo Ren when he went into exile. So you see it, and then Rey showed up, and you had all that that great storyline that happened after that. But you might recognize the Porgs, I think, were there.
And the planet is mostly water, but the drink isn't.
The drink isn't.
There's some ice in there, I suppose.
Right? There's some ice. So. All right, so we're going to go ahead and measure this out. It's kind of a tropical drink in a way, which is strange for a planet that's, there's a lot of water, but there's no real sandy beaches or anything like that. So let's go ahead and put some orange juice in there.
Tropical drink for a tropical time of the year here in the Northwest.
Yep.
A lot of sunshine.
We're going to go put some Grenadine in there.
I like it already.
Then we're going to get some coconut cream, which is kind of going to give it a frosty looking look to it.
Not an ingredient you hear about a lot.
No. Throw that in there, but this is something you get in a lot of tiki drinks. All right, and then we're going to shake this up. Going to
it looks like a pina colada in a way.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to make this at home and wanted to add alcohol to it, what would you recommend we add?
Well, nothing. Anytime you want an island drink, and especially with coconut cream, you're going to want rum.
Rum.
So I'd
not scotch. Everything we've been drinking tropical lately has scotch in it.
And we're going to top this with ginger ale.
All right. Good to top drinks with something that's carbonated rather than put them in the tumbler.
Oh yeah,
I've made that. Look at that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
A little atomic cloud of foam on the top.
All right.
There.
So this is the Cliff Dweller.
All right. Cheers. Oh! There you go. Yeah. Cheers. Oh, that's delicious.
It is.
And you might get a nice little milk mustache.
Yeah.
Coconut mustache on there.
And you can play around with this. You could have pineapple juice, lime juice. I mean, any of those kind of fruity.
I like it a lot.
To it.
Yeah, really tasty. It does need a little umbrella or something, I think.
Yeah, or a little mini lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Spearing a cherry or something.
All right, so that is the
Yum.
That is the Cliff Dweller.
All right.
So next up, we're doing the Hyperdrive, which is from it's a popular drink in the casinos of Canto Bight, which is it's got some energy drink in it, so it gives you the energy to stay up all night, spend your credits. But during the War of the Resistance, Canto Bight was where the Resistance members Finn and Rose traveled along with BB-8 to find the Master Codebreaker. It's the capital city on the planet. Yeah, actually, Canto Bight is not. It's not the planet. It's a city. It's the capital city of the planet. Cantonica is famous not only for its casinos, but having the largest artificial ocean in the galaxy.
We hope that you're taking notes. There will be a quiz.
Yes. So with this one, we're actually going to build the drink in the cups.
Okay.
Not doing the shaker. So we're going to put, get some, we can use white grape or white cranberry. We're using white grape juice, which is easier to find than white cranberry juice.
Now, where did the recipes come from?
These recipes come from the Galaxy's Edge cookbook, official Galaxy's Edge cookbook. So if you get on to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, go to their Star Wars land, which is Galaxy's Edge, planet of Batuu. You can get these drinks at a number of different places in the land.
Okay.
But the cookbook has all sorts of really cool recipes, and a lot of it's about the way the things look, more than even what they taste. Everything tastes great, but you know, they make things, you know, with blue milk and things like that. So they're really creative with how they make things.
Full immersion.
Yes.
Like you feel like you're there on these islands and places I can't pronounce. I'm glad you can.
Well, I'm probably gonna have somebody write in and say you thought you could, but you
Everybody's
can't.
a critic. You're trying to pronounce Star Wars names. That's already a cool color.
Yeah.
Blue cherry, intense, Gatorade.
Yes, and this better. Well, we could have used this when we had those 113-degree days, you know, a little while ago. All right, so we're going to top this. Put some Sprite on the top here, or your favorite lemon lime beverage, and then top it with black cherry puree.
Ooh, yum. And people can really garnish these with whatever they like, right?
Yeah.
Limes or whatever they think looks good. Cherry puree, you said?
Black cherry
Black
puree.
cherry
Yep.
puree. Nice.
All right, well, there you go.
Okay.
All right, this is the Hyperdrive, so let's go have some of this and spend our credits at the casino.
Very refreshing.
Yeah, so if you come down to the Roxy this Saturday, we're going to be serving these drinks. I'm going to set up a little cantina, and you'll be able to purchase these drinks, help the foundation, and the Roxy. So, yeah,
Cheers to Star Wars. Let's head into the theater and talk a little more trivia.
Yeah,
Star
sure.
Wars. All right, cheers.
See you there.
Well, we're back, and we are inside the Historic Roxy Theatre, where on Saturday, that's July 24th,
24th.
at 6:30 p.m., you will have the chance to view this film you see behind us on the big screen, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. You saw this originally when it was on the big screen,
Yeah,
right?
a funny story. We were down in Florida on vacation, and I remember my dad saying, "Hey, we got to go see this new movie, Star Wars." And I remember looking at the newspaper and looking at the ad in the newspaper, and it was just this white square with Star Wars in that vintage font that he had. My brother and I laughed at it, and we thought, this sounds so stupid.
Goofy.
So we go to see the movie. It was awesome. I mean, the rest is history. But yeah, so we saw it within the first week when it was released.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw it was like many different times, seeing it in pieces as a kid, over at a buddy's house. You watch a little, go, and it certainly changed movie making in so many ways. And something that I didn't realize until we started doing research for this episode was how many Oscars it won. Released in 1977 by Lucasfilm and 20th Century Fox, and a screenplay by George Lucas, directed by George Lucas. And it got an Oscar for Best Art Decoration, for set decoration, Best Art Direction, Best Costume Design, Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Music, obviously, for the original score by John Williams.
Right, and funny thing is I think we've got 3 films in a row here at the Roxy that are John Williams scored. We have Jaws, Star Wars, and we've got E.T. coming up.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, it's really a great opportunity to have a theater like this to come down and see these films locally here. So if you're in the Bremerton, Kitsap, Greater Puget Sound region, come on out. Buy tickets now. Go to farawayentertainment.com, buy tickets now, and it's going to be a big house. A lot of tickets sold already. and you can come and enjoy this marvelous little gem of a theater. So
Yeah, come down and enjoy some of these drinks.
yes, a couple of non-alcoholic options
Yeah.
for our teetotalers out there, people who want something refreshing on a hot day, and great AC system here in the theater. Really going to enjoy themselves, anybody who comes down. And of course, we'll be here to MC and kick off the introduction by Jeremy Arnold.
Yeah.
Jeremy Arnold, a guy from Turner Classic Movies. He's reaching out up into the 70s, not necessarily in his wheelhouse, but I'm anxious to hear the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah,
Jeremy
it's
has
interesting.
for us.
Most of the TCM guys are, classic films. You're getting into the 70s, you're getting beyond. But I mean, this film has had such an impact and such a milestone in filmmaking that you can't help but love it.
And launched a lot of careers. The film starred a lot of well-known folks that you will have heard of. You've got folks like, obviously, Harrison Ford. First off, Mark Hamill, who doesn't do a lot of acting anymore, but does a lot of voice work.
Yeah, video games
Yeah,
and
plays
animation.
the Joker in a
yeah.
lot of things. Of course, Carrie Fisher, and others, including Alec Guinness, the great Alec Guinness, Peter Cushing, and James Earl Jones. Just the voice, James Earl Jones, but still deserves a credit there. And then Peter Mayhew and Kenny Baker. We can't forget them, who we didn't really see, but played Chewbacca and C-3PO.
And Alec Guinness, interesting. What I loved about, I think it was in Force Awakens, one of the newer films, when Rey has this flashback when she finds Luke's lightsaber, and hears these voices of Obi-Wan, and the voices are both Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness, taken from recordings that they had in making this film.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're able to do that. Bring back some of the originals. And it's funny, Alec Guinness, he actually got the best deal of everybody. I don't know if it was probably name recognition at that point. I know we think of Harrison Ford and he's a household name, but back then he was not a household name. And in fact, when we interviewed Perry King, another young actor at the time, he also auditioned for the role of Han Solo, didn't get it, went to Harrison Ford, but Perry went on and ended up doing all the voices for the NPR radio series. So kind of a cool little tie-in there. But yeah, Guinness, he once famously declared that Star Wars was fairy tale rubbish, but he did okay for rubbish. He struck the best deal of any of the actors. He received 2.25% of the profits of the movie, which came to about $3.3 million back then. So not bad scratch for
Not at all.
1977. Estimates have him making over $60 million over the years that the franchise took place. But had a lot of fun making the movie when it came to sound. You'll notice my T-shirt, a little nod to the sound effects, and lots of really fun sounds in the movie. And if I can get to my notes here. There they are, right there. So, first of all, the iconic opening crawl in the movie, it was a nod to Flash Gordon, and it was accomplished by placing 2-foot-wide die-cut yellow letters. And, make sure to come by and see the marquee out in front of the Roxy here. They got the original big Star Wars letters.
But yeah, the marquee looks exactly the same as it did.
And the movie premiered here at the Roxy, which is also another cool a little bit of history. But it took 2-foot-wide die-cut yellow letters and placed them literally on a 6-foot long piece of black paper and just passed the camera over it. So really, really low tech. As were a lot of the sounds. USC grad, another USC grad, Ben Burtz, he revolutionized the use of sound effects in cinema, and he was given a Special Achievement Academy Award for his work. Chewbacca's growl was a blend of a bear, a lion, and badger vocalizations. R2-D2's voice was created by using a synthesizer looped that matched with beeps and tweets and boops and other sounds patterned after infant coos that were performed by Burt himself. The Tusken Raider yowl was a cocktail of mule sounds and people imitating mule sounds. And the famous lightsaber buzzing was made by blending the hum of a 35mm film projector and passing a broken microphone, over the tubes of an old TV set.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the discussions we had with Greg Barbanel when we had him on with all the Foley stuff.
Yeah.
All the interesting things he would use and find to make sounds. And you put these things together and you get sounds that are now iconic.
Yes.
We talk about, you have on here the TIE Fighter engine too. Something that you is just iconic, something that you recognize. You recognize a lot of these sounds as things coming from Star Wars.
Yep. Pew pew. The sound of the screeching TIE Fighter was actually created by combining an elephant's bellow and an auto driving on rainy pavement. And of course, Darth Vader's sinister breathing was recorded by sticking a microphone inside a scuba tank regulator. You could not have had this film without James Earl Jones,
No.
a guy who was not even seen, but obviously voiced the character of Vader. Didn't play him; a different actor played Vader. But he was paid $7,500 for about 3 hours, or 2 hours of vocal work. So not bad.
Yeah.
And a pretty good deal back in the '70s.
Yeah.
But,
Again, though, he's another guy that he could have retired of this. I think I'm trying to remember. He had a quote somewhere. I forget what the context was. That he could have retired with Star Wars money. Or something like just the money he's made over the years from
I'm sure
from participating, because he's another one of these guys that's been part of it for the entire run.
Right. Yeah, and a truly iconic voice.
Yeah,
absolutely iconic. A guy who could probably have just made his living just traveling around and signing posters for decades. And the movie did okay in its own right as well. It started out with a $10 million budget. They bumped it to between 11 and 12 estimate, 11 and 12 million. Worldwide gross, $775 million and change. So did okay, and still is obviously a classic, and we hope you'll come out and see it. Sample one of our non-alcoholic Star Wars concoctions here, and of course we'll have the recipe and everything you need in the show notes, including a link to Faraway Entertainment and the Historic Roxy Theatre, where you can get tickets. So again, that's this Saturday, July 24th, 6:30. With Highland and Haver, going to open the show, and make sure to get your tickets early. It's going to be a big house.
It's going to be packed. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And thanks to Kelly, the manager, for letting us in, do a special segment of In the Mix. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you Saturday here at the Historic Roxy Theatre.
All right,
Cheers.
thanks everybody. Cheers.